Have you ever felt like you're married not just to your partner, but to their entire family? I want to share a story with you. A story about how a marriage, once full of love and promise, slowly crumbled under the weight of a family that didn't understand boundaries. It all started with my husband, Mark, and me. We were that couple everyone thought had it all figured out. We had a beautiful home, good jobs, and we were deeply in love. Our life felt like a dream, a bubble of happiness we had built just for us. But bubbles are fragile, and ours was about to be tested in a way I never imagined. The test came in the form of my father-in-law. Now, he wasn't a bad person, not in the traditional sense. He was just incredibly frugal. His stinginess was legendary in the family. He'd reuse tea bags until they were colorless, drive miles out of his way to save a few cents on gas, and his favorite hobby was collecting free things. At first, it was just a collection of funny stories we'd tell our friends. We laughed about it, but soon the laughter faded. After we got married, my father-in-law started visiting more often. Unannounced, of course. He'd show up with a bag of slightly wilted vegetables from a discount store, proudly announcing he'd saved us a trip to the supermarket. Or he'd fix a leaky faucet, leaving it in a worse state than before, just to save us the cost of a plumber. Each visit felt less like a friendly drop-in and more like an inspection. He'd walk through our house, commenting on everything. You left a light on in the hallway, that's wasting electricity. Why buy brand name cereal? The store brand is half the price. This heater is set too high, put on a sweater. It was exhausting. Our home, our sanctuary, started to feel like his territory. I tried talking to Mark about it. Honey, I'd say, can you please ask your dad to call before he comes over? It feels like we have no privacy. Mark would just sigh and say, that's just how he is. He means well. He's trying to help us save money. But was he really helping? One weekend, he decided our lawn needed fertilizing. Instead of buying proper fertilizer, he used some strange, foul-smelling concoction he'd mixed himself. He called it his special blend. Within a week, our beautiful green lawn was covered in brown, dead patches. It was a disaster. When I showed Mark, he just shrugged. Well, Dad was trying to save us a few bucks. We can just reseed it. His refusal to see the problem was infuriating. It wasn't about the money. It was about the lack of respect for our home, our choices. The intrusions became more personal. He'd go through our mail, our pantry, even our closets. One day, I came home to find him in our bedroom, holding one of my favorite dresses. This looks expensive, he said, without a hint of shame. You shouldn't be spending so much on clothes. I was speechless. I felt violated. My personal space, the most intimate part of our home, had been invaded. I confronted Mark that night, my voice shaking with anger and hurt. Your father was in our bedroom, going through my things. This has to stop, Mark. You have to talk to him. You have to set some boundaries. But Mark's reaction was the same as always. He got defensive. He's my dad. He doesn't mean any harm. You're overreacting. Why are you trying to cause trouble between me and my family? That was the moment I realized the true depth of the problem. It wasn't just my father-in-law's behavior. It was Mark's inability to stand up for me, for us. His loyalty was divided, and it felt like I was losing. He saw my pleas for boundaries as an attack on his family. He saw his father's invasive behavior as caring. Our home was no longer a partnership. It was a battleground where I was constantly fighting for a little bit of space, a little bit of respect. The constant tension began to poison everything. We stopped talking, really talking. Our conversations became a minefield of potential arguments. The silence between us grew louder than any fight. The intimacy we once shared vanished, replaced by a growing resentment. I felt incredibly lonely, even when he was sitting right next to me. I was married, but I felt like a single parent defending her territory against a constant intruder, with my own partner siding against me. The final straw came on our anniversary. I had planned a special dinner at home. I cooked Mark's favorite meal, lit some candles, and put on soft music. I was hoping, praying that we could reconnect, that we could find our way back to each other. Just as we were about to sit down, the doorbell rang. It was my father-in-law. He walked in, saw the dinner table, and said, "Oh good, you cooked." I was on my way home and thought I'd save some money by eating here. Mark, seeing the look on my face, just smiled weakly and said, "Dad, perfect timing. Pull up a chair." I watched as my husband set another place at the table, shattering the last bit of hope I had. My romantic evening for two had become an awkward dinner for three, complete with my father-in-law complaining about the price of the wine I'd bought. That night, after he finally left, I looked at Mark across the remnants of our ruined anniversary dinner. There was nothing left to say. I knew in my heart that it was over. His refusal to choose our marriage, to protect our space, had eroded everything we had built. He couldn't see that his father wasn't just saving pennies. He was costing us our happiness. Setting boundaries with family is one of the hardest things to do, especially when your partner isn't on your side. It's a delicate balance between love for family and the need to protect your own life, your own marriage. My story is a cautionary tale. A marriage is a team of two, and when one teammate consistently lets an outside player run all over the field, the game is already lost. If you're in a similar situation, please know that your feelings are valid. Your need for privacy and respect is not an overreaction. If you're struggling with family dynamics or feeling unsupported in your relationship, it's so important to seek help. Talking to a counselor or a therapist can provide you with the tools and support to navigate these complex issues. You don't have to go through it alone. Remember to protect your peace and prioritize your own well-being. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If this resonated with you, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories and discussions. Take care.